Hi everyone, it's Sean. Hey, welcome back to my channel. I really appreciate it. Thank you for watching another one of my videos. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe if you haven't already. If you have been subscribed, thank you very much for your loyalty. Please do not hesitate to share this video with others who may benefit from it. Please, please. I would really appreciate it. So let's get started. So earlier in the week, I did a video about whether or not it is legal for a security guard to pull you over. And this video was directed towards the public in general. Private security professionals, they were the majority of the people that are watching this video, but it was geared towards the public, kind of like an information video for the public. Now in today's video, and I'll leave a link in the description by the way, in today's video we're going to talk about how to avoid getting in trouble for impersonating a peace officer, or a law enforcement officer, or a police officer, or a deputy sheriff. This video, mind you, is not a one size fits all. We have all different types of jurisdictions, all different types of states out there. Not all the laws are the same. However, they are written very similar. So that's my disclaimer, is this is not legal advice, not professional advice. Please consult with the laws of your state. Consult with an attorney as well. Different fact patterns may give different consequences. I am located in California. I tend to gravitate towards the laws of California. These are the laws that I better understand. And even if you're in California, my disclaimer is this is not legal advice, not professional advice. Do some fact checking and from some of the things that I say in this video. Actually, everything that I do in this video. So let's talk about impersonating a peace officer. Generally, if you give somebody the impression that you are a peace officer, law enforcement officer, deputy sheriff, some other LEO, you get somebody that impression and there's some type of benefit that you gain from it, that in essence is impersonating a peace officer. Most of the time it's a misdemeanor, but if you do it in the wrong circumstances, it can be a felony. So for example, if you pull somebody over, you have a loaded firearm on you and you get their wallet for ID and you collect money from the wallet, you're stealing it, and they're scared of you because you have a gun on you. Well, that can actually be robbery. Okay, you're taking personal property from the person of another using force. No, not force, but you're using fear. So you're using that fear element to take property from another. You can be charged and convicted for robbery in California and many other states. So you got to be really careful on who you're hiring out there and what exactly that you're doing. I think the best defense, and I'm not a criminal defense attorney by the way, but I think the best defense is that whatever encounter that you had, that you were obeying the rules and regulations. So in California, for example, you're required, if you are contract security, you're required to wear a badge that says the words private security, name of the security company you work for, and an ID number. On the shoulder patches, you're required to have the name of the company and the words private security. You have to display these at all times. I often see people on different YouTube channels wearing a plate carrier with having a generic badge on them. You guys, that's an infraction, and that's a business and profession code infraction. You don't want to do that. You wear the complete uniform. Ask your employer for the complete uniform because they're the ones that are going to be really getting penalized. I mean, you might too, but your employer as well. I think you have a viable argument if you say, hey, I was abiding by the uniform regulations and this person still believed that I was a police officer when my patches and my badge is private security. And that's going to be a viable argument just in case you are accused of impersonating a police officer. You wore the badge and the patch that's approved by the state. And a matter of fact, in California, you have to submit your badge and patch design to the Bureau of Security and Investigative Services. They are the regulatory arm for private security professionals in California. So they have to approve it. So you can always say, hey, wait a minute, California, you guys approved it. And same thing with Florida, New York, whatever state you're in, you might need badge or patch approval. Second, you should identify yourself as a private security officer in most circumstances. So you approach somebody, hey, private security for whatever establishment it is or whatever post it is. Okay, you say those words, hey, private security or private patrol, something to that effect, okay? Then that's again, another excuse. You're not identifying yourself as a police officer, but as as a private security officer as well. So that's the number 2. Number 3, letterings on your vehicle. In California, if you have an amber light bar, you have to have stickers, lettering on the sides of your vehicle that say private patrol or private security, and the name of your company on the sides. On the back, it needs to say private security and private patrol. Now, you can actually roll up in an unmarked car, and you don't need any lettering. Now, however, in California, the highway patrol or local law enforcement jurisdiction can require you to have additional lettering on your vehicle, maybe private security company number. In California, we call them private patrol operators. So you'll need a PPO number that's on the car if it's required in the local jurisdiction. And in most jurisdictions, they don't require that PPO number. But see, with the unmarked cars, you can get a lot of trouble with those ones. Now, if you're an owner or a supervisor for a private security company, I think sometimes it's a bad idea to put your guard force inside of these unmarked vehicles, because sometimes when you get them from a police department or an auction, sometimes they don't remove the sirens and all other fun stuff, and you might get guards that might be using them to drive in a code 3 conditions. California code 3 is a radio code we use to tell others that we're responding to the scene quickly and safely with lights and sirens. So that's code 3. In security field, it means more of there's an urgent matter, you need to get there quick. In private security, you can actually have amber lights, and you can use them when you're responding to an emergency. The amber lights, okay, you can use them when you're responding to emergency. That's covered in the California Vehicle Code. Now, once you start putting red lights and blue lights on there, well, those colors are usually restricted for law enforcement. So if you have, and fire. So if you're using red and blue lights on your security vehicle, even in an unmarked car, well, you might be giving others the impression that you are a peace officer, you're a police officer. So you don't do that. Okay, don't do that. Now, you guys, I don't say anything without experience. Okay, in my security patrol car, when I worked security patrol, we had sirens and all their fun stuff in there. Okay. You leave that in there, you even leave a cage in the back, I guarantee that some security officer is going to throw somebody in the back. Okay, I've seen that happen before. Driving code 3 on the freeway, I've seen something along the lines. I'm not saying that I did it, but I've seen people do that in the security field. Okay, so avoid all that stuff, you guys. Police scanners, they're good to have to know what's going on around you, but if you're carrying a police scanner on your belt, if you're a supervisor or an owner of a company, if you allow your employees to carry a police scanner on their belt that looks like a police radio, I would only allow my trust employees to use that, because I'm telling you guys, I know people who have worn the scanner and that acted like cops, and that were later arrested for either impersonating a peace officer or impersonating a peace officer with an armed robbery. Okay, I've seen these things. I've known people who have been arrested and booked for these things. So my knowledge on this video does not come without experience, you guys. Okay, it's bound to happen. Murphy's Law. It's kind of like something's going to happen. It's going to happen. Okay, that's a modified version, by the way, of Murphy's Law. So the uniform, make sure that it's a regulated uniform. It's something that your state or jurisdiction approves. Make sure that you mention the words private security whenever you're approaching somebody. And also make sure that some of the equipment on these patrol cars, they're removed. Okay, the total whale siren noise, I'm not too sure. If I was a security company owner, I would keep that. If I was the owner, maybe I would keep some of those gadgets in my car, because I trust myself. But to get a really good employee, private security officer to work under you, it's hard, you guys. It's hard. I'm watching all these channels. One of my favorite channels is the Commander Hall channel, and he always has problems finding qualified private security professionals that are willing to stay on post and show up on time. That's my video, you guys. Please watch the video that I made earlier about whether or not private security guards are able to pull people over. That video is geared towards the public, but as a private security professional, you could definitely learn from that. If you have any questions, concerns, or any requests for future videos or any stories, There's DJ David J. I'm always learning from him, actually. I don't know why he doesn't have his own YouTube channel, but I tend to pin his comments. This guy has a lot of experience. It's not BS. This is accurate information. I like the post that he makes, the comments. I like a lot of other comments that I see that are on the thread. So you guys take care and be safe.